Welcome to the Practical Life module. Some people call this activities for everyday living. So here we're going to explore what you would find in the practical life area, why it's there, and how you can develop your own activities for your classroom that meet the needs of the children that you have. So please remember that with practical life, it's a gradual build-up of skills, so depending on the age of the children in your room will depend on where you start with activities, and also the exposure they've had before will lead to their starting point as well. So some children may come into you very young and already able to use a spoon because they've had the opportunity to feed themselves. Other children may still be being fed, so not able to use a spoon. So it's really important to observe your children and know their starting points. So your aim as a teacher is to identify these starting points, have in your mind a good bank of resources that you can call upon, and then set up your classroom. So if you're doing this in a classroom environment, there should be a simple, an intermediate and a complex activity for each of the skills, and we will go through those. Remember, we are always following the child and we're enabling the child to work without being disturbed. So practical life is the first area we will introduce into our classroom. Montessori tells us that we must provide an environment which is favourable for each and every child. That's so that each child can reach their potential in all areas of development. Montessori wrote, "Give the child an environment in which everything is constructed in proportion to himself or herself." So when we think about this isn't just the activity. The child needs a chair to sit on where their feet can touch the floor. They bend at the knee and the hip with a 90-degree bend so that a child develops good posture for working. So they need a good solid chair the correct size and then a table of the correct height. So it's really important to invest in the correct size furniture for your children, which is sturdy and allows them to sit and work at a comfortable position. Imagine for yourself if you sat on your office chair and it was too high and your feet didn't touch the ground. Try it and you'll realise that you have a lack of stability when your feet are not firmly on the ground when sitting. So before you have any activities, check first your furniture. It's also really important to have shelf units that are accessible to the children. So they need to be able to see and reach the top shelf, the middle shelf, the bottom shelf, so that they can select their activities safely and then return them too. So we're reminded that we must provide an environment which also promotes a sense of belonging to the children. So this is what enables them to become a little social group. And Montessori wrote, "The child comes to see that they must respect the work of others, not because someone has said they must, but because in reality that is their daily experience." So we also need a culture of respecting workspace. And I find one of the best things for this is to introduce work mats. So you can see the mats here that I have on the table. So what does a work mat do? Once I've selected my workspace and my mat, I put my mat down and it signifies to the other children, this is where I'm working. The work on my mat has been chosen by me. The other children learn that they don't touch it, they don't take it. It is mine and I have the right to sit and concentrate on my work for as long as I wish without interference from anybody else. Should another child want to join me, they can say, "Please, can I do that piece of work with you?" But I have the right to say yes or no because this is my work and this is my work area. So children then learn to respect each other's work, not to interrupt each other. And if it's a floor mat, they also learn to walk around the mat and not through the mat, again, which would disturb somebody's work. So we prepare the environment, we prepare the activities, we prepare the children, and we also have to prepare ourselves, both spiritually and through training. So it's really important that you train so you understand why you're delivering what you are delivering, and you understand how to do it as well. Montessori wrote, "The teacher must have good knowledge of the work she's expected to do and the function of the materials. You must know how to observe, how to be calm, patient and humble, and how to restrain your own impulses. So it's really important that when you see a child struggling to do something, you don't jump in quick and do it for them, because this message conveys, I am better than you and I can do it and you can't. If we give a child time to carry out their task, time to discover for themselves how to do it, in time they will learn through their own work, not through us coming in and interfering. So I'm going to present for you a range of practical life activities. There will be some text along with the videos for you to read, and it's really important that you do read this so you educate yourself as to why we have this activity, the ranges that are available for you to put out for the children, and any other important notes about that specific activity. So thank you for listening, and I am now going to ask you to work through the videos for practical life, and I'll explain what you need on each shelf and how to set it up. Thank you.